Good evening. We now call this city council meeting to order. We ask that if you have a cell phone at this time, would you put it on silent, mute, or off at this time, please? We will be led in prayer by Madam Clerk, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Madam Clerk.
O God of might, wisdom and justice, through whom authority is rightly administered, laws enacted and judgment decreed, assist us, we beseech thee, that this city council may be conducted in righteousness and be eminently useful to thy people over whom we preside. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, before we do the roll call, I would like to bring our attention and welcome Ms. Tiffany Griffin, who is sitting in as our solicitor for this council meeting. Thank you, Ms. Griffin, for sitting in for Mr. Schuster tonight. Thank you. Thank you for your presence here. Madam Clerk.
Councilors Williams. Here. Morgan.
Present.
West.
Present.
Roots.
Present.
Mayor Kirkland.
Present. Move for the approval of minutes.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk.
Councilors Williams.
Yes.
Morgan.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Roots.
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland.
Yes. At this time, we open up the microphone for public comments on the agenda items only. If you have any public comments on the agenda items, we ask that you would go to the microphone, state your name, your address, and your comments. Hearing and seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Resolution, whereas the following individual has requested a handicap parking zone. Number 1, Daisy M. Johnson, 220 Wilson Street, Chester, PA, 19013. And whereas after a thorough investigation by the Department of Public Works, it has been determined the aforementioned individual has met all of the required criteria and has a need for said handicap parking zone. Now, therefore, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby authorize the proper city officials to install a handicap parking zone in the 200 block of Wilson Street in the City of Chester.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk.
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby ratify the appointment of Derek Cooper to the position of Heavy Equipment Operator, Department of Public Works, for 40 hours per week with all benefits applicable effective January 6, 2022, at the salary as provided in the annual appropriation ordinance. Further, said individual has successfully completed the 30-day probationary period. Further, said appointment is contingent upon successful completion of all of the pre-employment requirements being provided to Human Resources within 30 days of this appointment.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk.
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby ratify the appointment of Damon Wilson to the position of laborer, Department of Public Works, for 40 hours per week with all benefits applicable effective January 6, 2022, at the salary as provided in the annual appropriation ordinance. Further, said individual has successfully completed the 30-day probationary period.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk.
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby ratify the appointment of Madeline Clausel to the position of Secretary, License and Inspection, Department of Public Safety, I'm sorry. I didn't put it on the tape. I'll practice.
You got to start over.
Thank you. No.
You good?
I'm gonna start this resolution over, though.
It's recorded on the Zoom too. Recorded there.
Yeah. 'Cause-
Yep.
Resolution, the council of the city of Chester does resolve that it does hereby ratify the appointment of Madeline Classel to the position of Secretary, License and Inspection, Department of Public Safety, effective February 28th, 2022, to work no more than 37.5 hours per week with a 30-day probationary period with no benefits at the salary as provided in the annual appropriation ordinance pursuant to the agreement between the city of Chester and Teamsters.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the council of the city of Chester does resolve that it does hereby ratify the appointment of Elise Elam to the position of Building Compliance Monitor, Department of Public Affairs, for 37.5 hours per week, effective February 28th, 2022, with no benefits, at the salary as provided in the annual appropriation ordinance. Further, this is a temporary position and will end when the search process has been exhausted.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the council of the city of Chester does resolve that it does hereby ratify the appointment of Lamont Collins to the position of Residential Housing Inspector, License and Inspection, Department of Public Safety, with a 60-day probationary period with no benefits, effective February 28th, 2022, at the salary range as provided in the annual appropriation ordinance. Further, said appointment is contingent upon successful completion of all certification requirements being provided to Human Resources within 90 days of this appointment.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Roots,
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland.
Yes.
Resolution, the council of the city of Chester does resolve that it does hereby ratify the promotion of the following individuals to the position of Captain, Bureau of Fire, Department of Public Safety, effective February 28th, 2022, with a 90-day probationary period at the salary range as provided in the annual appropriation ordinance. Amy DeKnight, Brian Decker, and Kevin Postlewaite.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the council of the city of Chester does resolve that it does hereby authorize the appointment of Travis Thomas as a member of the Civil Service Commission, term to expire December 31st, 2025.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
This was one of the resolutions our receiver wanted to have us pull.
Correct.
Why didn't we?
The reason being, I'm glad you asked that question, Councilman.
I'm sorry, who asked you to pull it? I didn't hear
The
you.
receiver sent an email yesterday.
Okay, I just didn't hear what you had said to him. Okay, thank you.
Receiver Dowry asked us to pull this resolution. I chose not to pull it for a very simple reason. Number one, this resolution has nothing to do with finances here in the city. It is a very simple resolution that, and I'm gonna read the legal jargon for you. And it's from the Pennsylvania Statutes, Title 11. And it says, cities shall establish a civil service board that shall provide for and oversee the examination of applicants for appointment, and promotion to any position in the police or fire department. Council shall appoint 3 city residents to the board who shall serve 4-year terms or until their successors are appointed and qualified, except for the initial appointment of board members as provided in the section 14403. And the reason I chose not to pull it was that a couple of reasons. Number one, it has nothing to do with our finances. Number two, I was being pressured in the past to hurry up and make selections. And number three, it is the authority of the board as elected officials to place names of individuals whom they believe are highly qualified to sit on the board. Now, with that said, it is very simple. If the members of council choose not to accept those names, look, you don't hurt my feelings or anything, but if they choose not to accept the names, that's what the council chooses. If the council chooses to accept the names, that's what they choose. And I believe that, let me just share with folks, the names that I've put forth. One of them is Travis Thomas, who's a former fire commissioner here in the city. The other one is William Al Jacobs, who is an attorney who has been practicing law for the past 30 years. And the third person is Joe Morris, a retired firefighter. And the last 2 persons are alternates. So we needed to fill this board. It has nothing to do with the finances of the city, and it has nothing to do with, I don't want the receiver to think that we're bucking him and this, that, and the other. The bottom line is we have to govern. Any other questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Roots,
No.
Mayor Kirkland.
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby authorize the appointment of the following individuals as alternate members of the Civil Service Commission, terms to expire as stated. William L. Jacobs, Esquire, term of office December 31st, 2025, and Joseph Morris, term of office December 31st, 2025.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
No.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby accept the recommendation of the Chester Selection Committee and does hereby appoint C.H. Planning as a consultant to the Chester Planning Department to update the City of Chester Vision 2020 plan for an amount not to exceed $100,000. Further, said project shall be funded through a grant from Department of Community and Economic Development. Further, a contract shall be prepared in accordance with the specifications and to the satisfaction of City Council.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Allow me to share this with you as well. Here's something else that we have been trying to get past for a few weeks now. The receiver chose to ask us to remove it or start all over in our RFPs because under his thinking, there were going to be some more persons. I guess he had some more persons who wanted to put in their proposal, which cost us money to put back in the paper. After we did it for the second time, same persons put in their request for proposals. We went through the process once again, delayed again, and now we're at this point where we should have been approximately a month ago. So I just wanted to give you a little background on that. Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Did
I'm sorry, yes.
I vote already? You just commented after it, right?
Hmm?
We
No,
do the vote?
vote now.
I'm sorry. West?
Yes.
Roots.
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland.
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it is necessary for the City of Chester to engage the services of special legal counsel to represent the city in a matter of Davin D. versus City of Chester et al. Number 336, MD 2020, petition of mandamus in the Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania. Further, it does hereby authorize the city solicitor to engage the services for and on behalf of the City of Chester.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that the officials of the City of Chester, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, in regular session assembled on the 9th day of March 2022, do hereby make an application for county liquid fuel tax funds in the amount of $54,135 to be used for the 2022 street resurfacing program. Further, that all materials used and work done hereunder shall conform to the current Pennsylvania Department of Transportation specifications or specifications approved by the department, and all work will be done within the legal right-of-way.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby authorize the proper city official to prepare the specifications for the advertisement of bid for the following: sale of used fire equipment through municipal. Further, that it does hereby authorize the proper city official to advertise on municipal.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, whereas the City of Chester owns various fire vehicles that are no longer in usable condition, and the cost to repair those vehicles greatly exceeds the value of the vehicles. And whereas each vehicle has been dismantled for usable parts and based on their age, condition, and mileage, it has been determined that each vehicle has an estimated value of less than $1,000 each. And whereas the vehicles have been placed out for bid previously and received no bids. And whereas the city is under pressure to remove the vehicles from our service vendors' property, who has stored the vehicles for over 2 years at no cost to the city. Now therefore, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby authorize the following vehicles transferred to Longo's Towing. Year 1990, model would be Pierce Lance, VIN number LA000466, a 1989 Pierce Dash, VIN number KA040333, and a 1989 Pierce, VIN number being KA040385. Further, prior to transfer, all identifiable markings and emblems will be removed from all vehicles. Further, it does hereby authorize the proper city officials to take all necessary actions for the proper transfer and disposal of the aforementioned vehicles in accordance with the third-class city code and final approval of the city solicitor.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, whereas the City of Chester received payment for the installation of a handicap parking zone in the 300 block of East 23rd Street in the amount of $25. And whereas after a thorough investigation by the Department of Public Works, it has been determined the aforementioned individual does not meet the required criteria. And whereas 72 PA CSA Section 5566B provides for the refund of monies paid to a political subdivision which is not legally entitled to said monies within 3 years of payment thereof. Now therefore, the council of the city of Chester does resolve that it does hereby authorize the refund of $25 to Junius Davis, which represents the reimbursement of the sum paid for the aforementioned service.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the council of the city of Chester does resolve that it does approve and order payment of a series of bills and refunds as prepared by the Department of Accounts and Finance and as shown on expenditure approval list dated March 7th, 2022, attached hereto and made a part hereof, subject to approval from the Department of Accounts and Finance.
So moved.
I second.
Are there any questions?
I have one.
Mm-hmm.
To Councilman Morgan, is there any way we can get these reports like before the agenda meeting?
Yes. As I mentioned in the deliberative on Monday, we will make sure that we get the expenditure list to mayor and council when the actual deliberative agenda comes out the week prior to the council day.
All right, thanks.
So just to let you know, that's not how it was previously. It was a request that came down last week, as mentioned on Monday, but we will get it to mayor and council when the deliberative agenda is presented.
Well, let me just be clear. My request or my question or my request had nothing to do with what came down last week. It's just a little tough when it is received at council meeting for me to review it. I trust that our finance guys are going through all this stuff with a fine tooth comb, but I'd at least like to look at it prior to showing up at council meetings.
Agreed.
Okay, thanks.
Any further questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Bill number 1, first reading was on February 9th, 2022. Ordinance number 1 of 2022, an ordinance of the City of Chester, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, amending Article 1327 entitled, Allowed Uses in Primarily Non-Residential Zoning Districts of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Chester, 1978, as supplemented and amended to revise subsection 1327.01C entitled Institutional and/or Semi-Public Uses to change the W-1 zoning district from permitted by right to not permitted, and repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances inconsistent therewith.
I move that we pass bill number 1 on its last and final reading.
I second that we pass bill number 1 on its last and final reading.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Bill number 2, an ordinance of the City of Chester, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, approving the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances and parts of the various component codes of the codified ordinances of Chester, Pennsylvania.
I move that we pass bill number 2 on its first reading.
I second that we pass bill number 2 on its first reading.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk, and
You're welcome.
welcome back.
You're welcome.
At this time, we'll have a presentation. Mish?
Good evening and welcome. On behalf of the Mayor and Council, Public Safety Director, Councilwoman Elizabeth Williams, we welcome friends and family here tonight. 3 firefighters to the rank of fire captain. And I'm going to call them out in order of how they scored and if they would all come up front. Firefighter Amy DeKnight. firefighter Brian Decker, and firefighter Kevin Postlethwaite. And before we, oh, here he comes. And before we call the family up to do our oath, I just want to say a few words about these three firefighters, three fire captains tonight, and give them a little hand for all their hard work and the commitment they put in throughout this promotion process. Just an outstanding job. And I want to thank all the families that are here tonight that have sacrificed throughout their training and their missed dinners, and that keeps them away from their friends and family. But I must start with firefighter Denight. She was our first female firefighter on the list, and she tonight is our first female fire captain in the city of Chester. And how fitting here we are in Women's Month in March, and you hit them all, Amy. Great job. Also, I'd like to recognize someone in the audience tonight. Firefighter Postlethwaite's grandfather is retired firefighter Hal Walker, and he's sitting out here, and he was a charter member of this fire department when we started in 1972. And he's here tonight to see Kevin be promoted. So our new captains, as they move on to serve the city of Chester with dignity, I wish you all a healthy, safe career, and just ask that you take care of your men and women on your crew, and to the families, just remember what outstanding work these guys have done. And just one more round of applause before we swear them in. Thank you. And in order of starting with Captain Denight, if we could have someone to come up and hold the Bible.
Hand on the Bible. A little nervous there, huh? Smiling up against the lights.
I, Brian Decker, do solemnly swear to do my duty as a fire captain for the city of Chester to the best of my ability, to serve my commanding officers serve my commanding officers
and my fellow firefighters with respect and dignity.
and my fellow firefighters with respect and dignity.
To serve the citizens of the city of Chester
To serve the citizens of the city of Chester
with passion, courage, and integrity.
with compassion, courage, and integrity.
To uphold the laws and Constitution
And to uphold the laws and constitutions
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
state of Pennsylvania,
state of Pennsylvania,
the charter of the city of Chester,
the charter of the city of Chester,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Hey, atmosphere here tonight.
Take his time, right? You gotta hold it up there.
I think he's got to do a redo.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
to do my duty
to do my duty
as a fire captain
as a fire captain
for the city of Chester,
for the city of Chester,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
to serve my commanding officer
to serve my commanding officer
and fellow firefighters
and fellow firefighters
with respect and dignity.
with respect and dignity,
To serve the citizens of the city of Chester
and to serve the citizens of the city of Chester
with compassion,
with compassion,
courage,
courage,
and integrity.
and integrity,
To uphold the laws and Constitution
to uphold the laws and constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
state of Pennsylvania,
state of Pennsylvania,
and the charter of the city of Chester.
and the charter of the city of Chester.
So help me God.
So help me God.
At this point, the mayor always likes to put them on the spot. And,
Yeah.
So, one by one, Captain Denight, if you come up and say a few words to everyone.
Mayor, council, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be here. I want to thank all of my family and friends and coworkers who have supported me throughout this journey, between getting hired, working as a firefighter, and now becoming captain. Thank you, everybody, for the sacrifices and the help that you've made to help me get to where I am today.
Councilwoman has a little something special here.
I'd like to say congratulations and thanks for being the first fire lady here in the city of Chester.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Brothers don't get no flowers, Liz? It's all right.
My wife says I've been nuts throughout this whole process. So first of all, thank you to her and my daughter for putting up with me throughout the whole thing. But thank you to my shift mates. You've all been great. The entire department has supported me. It's not easy leaving a shift, but it's all for the better good of the city and the department. And thank you to Mayor and Council and Commissioner Rigby for the opportunity.
I'd like to say thank you to Mayor and Council for the opportunity to start this new journey of my career as fire captain. Also, thank you to all of the members of the fire department for the support through the career up to this date. And most importantly, my wife and stepson, who have been putting up with my nonsense at home, trying to study for the test and getting ready and doing other classes and getting prepared for the next phase. And then also I want to say thank you to my parents for putting me through college and turning out to be a firefighter after that. And a special thank you to my grandfather who put me on this path and is also, as the commissioner mentioned, the charter member, one of the charter members for this local. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Captain, your parents are here? Would you ask them to stand? On the grandfather. No, please remain standing. On behalf of myself and council, we just want to say, you did the best you could. Stop beating yourself up. Okay? It's gonna be all right. Thank you. I don't guess we can't get a picture now because the lights went down. I gotta go in the hallway. Okay. Okay. The lights will come back up when they're good and ready. Once they go off, it takes them a while to come back up. So, at this time, we're gonna open up the microphone for public comments. If you have public comments, we ask that you go to the microphone, you state your name, your address, your public comments. We're asking that you limit your public comments to 3 minutes, if you'd be so kind. Once again, state your name, your address, and you can begin your comments after the firefighters have exited. That's everybody.
It always is. What's wrong? You got it. My thought is moving forward. Our comments,
How the lights go up?
because everybody leaves.
Right.
Once we get into this section, we want everybody here. We got to say too.
Right.
We got to.
Gotcha.
So they on a timer? The lights.
I don't think they don't.
They must have been
but
on
they
for a while.
don't
That's
come
why
right
they
on.
now-
You got to turn them on.
Now they
every
on the
time
time, you
they
gotta wait for it to come.
So we're going to go into public comments at this time. Hearing none, seeing none. I will say this, Mr. Crawford, and I do apologize because I wanted you to be there. We just opened up a substation. We just opened up a substation where, at Everest Care, there used to be one there many years ago. At that time, it was Community Hospital. So we just opened up a police substation there just the other day. So in the hopes of having more presence on that in the town. So I wanted to make sure I shared that with you. We appreciate you. Your voice has been heard and continues to be heard. And I appreciate you for, bringing certain things to our attention.
Mayor,
Any public comments?
Mayor.
Comments from Councilwoman Williams.
I'd like to say good evening to the citizens of Chester. On March the 19th, we're going to be having an open house where the people that have mortgages and need their mortgage paid can come over from 11 until 2 o'clock. And I, with the county, will help you fill out your applications. Also that day, I have a gentleman that's going to come here to do the phone tablets. They're free if you qualify. So I appreciate it very much for everyone in the city of Chester that qualifies or anyone that needs their mortgage taken care of, come here March the 19th from 11 until 2. Thank you very much and have a nice evening. And to all the women out there, we do rule the world.
Had to throw that in there, didn't you, ladies? Okay. Councilman?
Yes.
Councilman Morgan.
I feel like the light's starting to come back on now and get some sunshine in here. So jobs, we've been mentioning it over the last few council meetings. We have a few openings here at the city of Chester, a few within the Department of Accounts, Finance, and Human Resources as well. So if you're interested, you believe that you may be a great fit for the city of Chester to join the team, please go on to our website. I think we have a tab that says jobs, and you can email all of your information to, I believe it's recruits@chestercity.com. So If you're looking for an opportunity or you know someone that's looking for a good opportunity to work with the city of Chester, work for your own community, please, please, please apply. Tax bills. Some of you may have received county tax bills already. We try to get the tax bills out for the year of 2022, usually within about the first week of the month of the first week of March. We're having a few issues with the new financial software, so the plan is to try to get those tax bills out by the end of this month. So there's been quite a bit of people that has been calling over here to try to make their payments ahead of time, which I'm completely comfortable with. So try to be a little patient with us, but we will get those mailings out to the addresses that we have on file. American Rescue Plan. So back in October of 2021, we had a discussion with community stakeholders to talk about the American Rescue Plan and how we intend or we'll try to intend to use those funds for the community. For the community. We want to be able to provide an update and a project tracker information on what we're going to do with the American Rescue Plan money. So I believe this month we were looking to do some communications out to the community. So please be aware, look for the flyers that we're going to have on the social media as we look to promote that conversation with the community and keep you all updated and abreast on what we're going to be doing with the funds. Lastly, I know that there's been some information that may have been put out there via the news or whatever network that individuals can read from. What I will say is that this mayor and council that has been elected by the people here in the city of Chester has and will continue to serve each and every individual here, whether you're a business, whether you're a neighbor, whether you're a resident. We are elected here to do what is necessary to put the city of Chester in a better position than it was the day before. And we're going to continue to do that. I am 100% positive when I say that we don't need anybody that's an outsider, that's not from the city of Chester to come here and say what they think is best for our own residents. We live here, we grow up here. Our family is born and raised here and continue to live here. And again, that's why we're elected to do what we need to do for the city of Chester. So for me, myself, in my department, in the Department of Accounts and Finance, those individuals work tirelessly day and night on the weekends to do what's necessary for that department, to get the tax bills out, to make sure that the employees here have what they need when it comes to human resources related, and to make sure that we get payments out to those vendors that are providing services to the city of Chester. So again, my department, specifically me, I'm going to do everything possible to make sure that the city of Chester is going to continue to move in the right direction, whether it's in regards to health, finances, business, economic development, you name it. We're going to do what's necessary to keep moving the ball forward. So I'm sure there might be some information or some things that's going out there to the community. But what I will say, if there's anyone, whether it's a consultant or individual that's here for the greater good of the city of Chester, I'm sure that mayor and council does not have a problem or issue with sitting down with them and talking about partnerships and collaborations. We've done that before, we've done it in the past, and we continue to do it today as well. So with that, I don't have anything else to say.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to remind our residents that our trash vendor, JP Mascara, has started here in the month of March, going through the city to do a clean sweep of the bulk trash that's out currently. Starting April 4th, bulk trash, we will begin the new bulk trash pickup, which means that whatever day your trash day falls on, if your trash day is Monday, then you can put your regular trash out and one bulk item. We're only allowing one bulk item per week. I asked about mattress and box springs. They have to be covered. They will get your mattress and your box spring. But if you have like a dinette set or a bedroom set or something like that, and I did clarify with the vendor, it's one piece at a time. So if you have a dinette table and chairs, 4 chairs, then you put the table out, they'll get that, and then 1 chair per week until everything's picked up. This will eliminate a clutter of bulk trash on the sidewalk and what have you. And so this is what we've agreed to the city of Chester along with our trash vendor in an effort to clean up our city. So you will be getting postcards in the mail. Appliances will be picked up, certain appliances, but the appliances that have Freon in them and what have you will not be picked up by the trash vendor. So you can call those items in to our, to the city, to the streets department. And that's about it for now, but every week, you know, we will update you on what we're doing as far as bulk trash is concerned.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman? Ms. Sheldon, you about 5.
Yeah.
Are we to handle those folks that empty their houses out, stuff out there and live in front of your house instead of in front of theirs?
Okay, if that happens, you can call it. Okay, you can call it in to the city, okay? And there's an enforcement piece that will come out of Councilwoman Williams' department. Her inspectors will be detailed to that area, and they will conduct the enforcement piece for those persons who are cleaning out their houses. I know.
Councilman Roots?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I've got some prepared remarks, so bear with me for about 2 minutes. And sort of piggybacks on Councilman Morgan's statement about what's been out in the press and even the resolution we agreed on tonight to retain counsel. My short time here, I can just see that the relationship between the city and the receiver is deteriorating right before my eyes. It's to the point that they're taking us to court on 3 issues related to us not adhering to their orders or their directives. One of them has to do with us raising our salaries by $10,000. The other is on a liquor license we approved. And the third is something we didn't vote on, but they're alleging that they're removing the responsibilities of our director of finance. I voted against the salary increase and liquor license, but the director of finance issue didn't come up for a vote. But this body, mayor and council, has rejected the receiver's order and has chosen to fight them in court. For now, I'm going to side with my colleagues in this legal action for the following reasons. It's probably the only way to determine the scope of authority the receiver actually has when he issues these orders. He is firm in his belief that the powers vested in him as a receiver gives him this authority, and we believe he's overstepping his bounds. This is a perfect opportunity for this issue to be clearly defined by the courts. Until such decision is made, I don't see how the receiver and the city can productively work together to resolve the financial issues that face the city. I mean, I'm in favor of working collaboratively with the receiver's team, following his orders and directives, although as expected, most of them relate to city finances and not always in my department. I believe, like Councilman Morgan just stated, that we can manage our own finances. But based on where we are, we need help. And the receiver's team is here to provide help. We have to be willing to admit that we need help. I don't believe they want to be here any more than we want them to be here. But while they're here, we should take full advantage of their expertise and their seemingly unlimited budget to access resources that we could never afford on our own. I don't see them as trying to take over our city, changing our form of government, or attempting to replace our employees with theirs, or that he's stealing all of our good ideas and wants to take credit. What we want to see at the end of this process is that we're out of receivership, that we're on a fine financial footing, and if that can occur at the end of this process, then we'll all give ourselves participation trophies. The main point I want to make here is that I think this court case is extremely important. I think it's going to clearly define what the roles are that they have, because many of these things have never been tested in court. They put the rules together for receivers, and I would think our state never expects any city to be in receivership. We're the second city. Harrisburg was first. You know, if nothing else, we should study and see how Harrisburg got out of this process in 2 years, and it's going to take us 4. Or a city like Reading, very much like ours, we're in Act 47, but they seem to be avoiding receivership and out of Act 47. So let's go to court. Let's figure it out. And when it's all said and done, we'll know we no longer have to finger point. We no longer have to say, this is not your job. You're meddling in our mess. We'll see what the rules of engagement are. This thing should have been over this June, but they've been assigned another 2 years. I don't know if it's because of the scope of stuff that they found or their alleged statement that we're not cooperating fully. Let's let the judge decide. I'm on this side. I'm with the Chester crew.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you. Thank all of you. Let me just say this. Receiver has made some statements, and that just were not true. And I want to start off by saying when the receiver arrived here in the city of Chester, we welcomed him with open arms. There is no documentation that he asked me of for that I did not give him. I gave him some documentations that he didn't even ask for. And then it seemed as though everything that we provided for him, for some strange reason, began to be used against us and not in a partnership. The receiver has now said, it's taken a personal swipe at myself when he says, liquor license awarded to city employee related to Mayor Kirkland. That's not true. I'll say it again. That's a lie. First of all, the city does not award liquor licenses. Let me say it again. The city does not award liquor licenses. They are awarded by way of the Liquor Control Board. What the city did, and see, I wanted to make sure we had an opportunity to read what the city did. This is the resolution we passed, and I want you to hear this because they'll print stuff like this to try to do harm to individuals and try to discredit persons' names. But in reality, that never happened. So let me read to you resolution number 28-2022. Whereas the property located at 418 Avenue of the States is located in a Keystone Opportunity Zone. And Whereas, under the Pennsylvania Liquor Code, the property qualifies for the issuance of an economic development liquor license by the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board, the LCB. And whereas the owner of the property desires to open a restaurant with a liquor license, and whereas the council and mayor of the city of Chester believe that it is in the best interest of the economic development of the city for the property to be developed with a restaurant with a liquor license. Now, therefore, the council of the city of Chester does resolve, number one, that the city hereby approves of the application by the owner or tenant of the property to the LCB for the issuance of an economic development liquor license and provides its consent to use said license at property. Number two, the appropriate city officials are hereby authorized to execute and deliver any such documents as may be required by the LCB with respect to the foregoing consent and approval. The city never has and never will issue a liquor license. When you try to defame persons and try to mislead an entire community, it is wrong. These young people down here have been digging in their pockets. This downtown has been dormant in some of these buildings for over 30 years. The young people have taken the initiative to take their hard-earned money and invest in these shuttered buildings. And I don't care if you work for city council or if you have a business someplace else, if you take the time and initiative to invest in this community and you do everything properly and above board, we will support you. It's almost like the old saying, my house is on fire. I don't care who brings the water. These young people are investing. And I will not turn away or walk away from their investment. As for the other stuff that he says, then there will be even further court dates because you cannot scandalize my name like that. I don't appreciate that. And it's hard working with persons like that. He says the Chester receiver takes city officials to court for interfering with financial recovery efforts. We have never done that. Never, ever. He says that the city of Chester is about to go bankrupt. Well, how do you go bankrupt when we got $32 million in the bank of ARPA funds? 32 million. When we have, and watch this. This is how open I have been with the receiver. You have the Chester Water Authority over here, and someone is saying, we will give you $500 million for that authority. And you have the Chester Water Authority over here that are saying, we will give you $61 million not to sell, and what you have not seen, which the receiver knows because I shared it with them, there's the bigger chunk of the iceberg underneath that $61 million to the tune of $375 million. He hasn't shared that with the folks. I shared it with him. So when he talks about, well, we're gonna go bankrupt, not with what we have here, because if I'm not mistaken, I think that's how Harrisburg got out. By selling a system. By selling a system. So I want folks to understand and be clear on, and I have the documents. Whoever wants to have the documents, I have them. And I'm more than glad to provide anybody in the city who would like to have a copy of these documents. You can get them from me. You can get all this information from me. Finally, you know, he said something about pay raises. What we did was, the year before being elected, we saw what they did to the mayor and council, and we saw what they did to their salaries when they reduced them on purpose. We put the salaries back to where they were supposed to be. And we ran an election. Had we lost, or whatever, the person who replaced that individual, if they would have replaced me, they would have gotten that salary. It's that plain and simple. Watch this. What they won't tell you is when the receiver's boss was the mayor of York, and once again, I got it. If you want this information, I got it. So it says, York City Council okays generous raises for Bracey's officials after heated debate. Kim Bracey was the mayor for York. She was going out of office. She lost her seat, and she was going out of office in December. I think it was December of 2017. 2 to 3 weeks before she left office, she gave raises too. She gave a $16,000 raise to receiver dowry, $16,000. She gave an $11,000 raise to Mr. Buffalo, Shabasi Buffalo, and a $10,000 plus raise to another young lady on her staff on the way out the door. Now, let's talk about what's ethical and what's not. We never did that. We never hid behind no mess like that. And just so you know, the receiver dowry said that those raises were justified because he looked at 6 other, I have it right here, 6 other municipalities that were similar to York and based their raises off of those other communities. Wow. Wow. This young lady has never taken the city's health care. Ever, ever, ever. Which saves this city money. Never taken it. I didn't start taking the city's health care until a year or 2 ago. 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago. And I didn't even take a paycheck the first year I was mayor. And so when folks, and this one was 12 years without a raise. 12 years. Everything is up now. You can't even get here. You gotta walk to work now. But for them to be so hypocritical. And then Mr. Murphy, because I'm gonna say his name, Mr. Murphy came out and said, you know, they apologized to you. I said, apologize to me for what, Mr. Murphy? They apologized because they said you were right. They were wrong. You were not the one that signed off and caused the city to miss out on $10 million. Murphy Ford. I said, Mr. Murphy, well, they told you that. but they won't come publicly and say it like they've been doing. He said, well, maybe sometimes it's just good that at least they told somebody. I said, oh, really? I said, really? So, as stated, this is the only administration down through the years, nobody else wanted to work with DCED and the persons from Act 47. They refused. They didn't give them documents. They didn't work with them. They basically slammed the door in their faces. We have opened our doors to work with them. And now this is what we have to go through. I'm so glad we're going to court. I welcome it. To drag this man's name through the mud and his character and his work ethic is wrong. It's wrong. This is ours. As Mr. Shelton would say, this is homegrown. And to take any person up here and to bring in your consultants and make sure that your consultants from all across this state, we never even hardly see them. I don't even know how many consultants he has. I don't even know what they make, but I do know all of them make over 6 figures. And to imply that they don't use taxpayers' money, oh yes, you do. You pay state taxes, so do I. That's our taxpayers' money. And so anybody, as was stated, anybody who has a genuine love and heart for this community and wants to really, really work with this community, let me just say this, I'm done. We were actually ordered to remove from our resolution packet our roads information pertaining to road repair and which roads we were going to repair. Didn't cost us nothing. We were just going to pass the resolution to identify funding sources and the roads that we're going to repair. He said, take it off. Why? Just take it off. Now we took it off. It'll be the same thing back on the next council meeting. And there'll be no reason for us taking it off, simply behind the fact that delay. And all we want to do is fix the roads. We don't identify the roads that need to be fixed and get to work. I don't have a problem working with anyone. We have been given a charge by the citizens of this community. We have been elected to serve the citizens of this community. And that's what we'll do. We'll work with anybody that's going in the right direction, but we will not be hindered by those who will try to degrade us or hold this council back. With that said, thank you. This council meeting is now adjourned.